I want you to take a second to compose your thoughts and to think about what your dream life would look like. The recognition, the respect you've got for leveling up in your respective field, whatever it is, whether it's your career, whether it's the physique you've built, whether it's the social life, it's the status you've managed to accumulate, it's the love you get from other people, it's the happiness that comes with literally all of this. Picture that now. Picture that right now. Is that the dream life that you want? Because congratulations, so does everybody else. And most people will never get anywhere near this. Most people will live a shallow, mundane existence. They'll set goals. Everybody sets goals. Whether, like, people think they're above other people because they set goals and even wrote it down. Everyone sets goals. Even the biggest dork that you think is a loser, he sets goals. He might not write them down. He still has a goal. Because human beings, naturally, we want to evolve. Naturally, we want to grow as people and become better than we once were. Of course we do. We always want to look better. We always want to accumulate more stuff and have more enjoyment. So we're all in the exact same fucking boat. But the reason why most people never actually get anywhere near what they really want, like if they're being fucking honest, they didn't get what they really wanted. They settled for something that was kind of good, but it wasn't what they really wanted. It wasn't the fucking dream life that they actually set. You know why? One word. Sacrifice. Fucking sacrifice. People do not really, when it comes down to it, want to sacrifice. They don't want to suffer for the goal. They don't want to make sacrifices for what it needs to take to actually achieve the goal. And it's a shame, because this is why people live shallow, mundane existences. People don't want to sacrifice a relationship because they said, no, I'm not going to go to dinner. And if it hurts the relationship and the relationship doesn't grow, then fair enough. But people don't want to sacrifice that. They would rather hold on to a half-assed, meaningless relationship and still eat that fucking meal out with that person and accumulate that body fat. It's sad, but it's just the way life is. People don't want to suffer. Honestly, people could do more to achieve their goal. They could sacrifice more, but they don't. Let me show you some examples of people that have sacrificed and suffered. Every man you see here is willing to sacrifice his body and his mental fucking state for at least 20 minutes there to finish this test. This is the P Company log race test. There are 8 events on P Company. That's what you have to pass to get into the paras. This is one of the tests, and by far the hardest test if you ask any individual. Because of the speed in which the logs are going, it's so fast. And it's so hilly, and honestly, it is just an absolute... It's more mental than it is physical, but honestly, it is next level hard. And the difference between the men that wear the maroon machine and get to serve in the paras and the men that don't and have to go and serve in other units that don't have to do this test, it simply comes down to who was willing to sacrifice. It's not everyone that starts this is probably fit enough to stay on each given log, because you've got to think it's the fitness of 8 of you divided by one given log. So you could have one really fit guy, but he's not going to be able to make everyone else drop off because one guy is fit, because he'd burn himself out. So you really are as quick as the slowest man can go anyway. So it's not even about fitness, really. You got to be fit, of course you got to be fucking fit. It's moving quickly, it's up and down hills, of course you got to be fit. But by the time that these boys do this test, they're fit enough. It's literally what comes down to upstairs. It's literally who is willing to just submit their body to the pain and then to sacrifice. For the next 20 minutes, you will fucking sacrifice. And that is literally, you almost, when I did it, you have to let go of that feeling of like bodily clarity. The feeling of being able to like be in control of your breathing and the way you're running. You have to submit that and let that go. Some people can't do that. Some people are not willing to sacrifice. And they don't get to join a brotherhood like the fucking paras. They don't get to jump out of planes. They don't get the privilege and the status of being in the British Army's elite infantry unit. They have to go and join something else because they weren't willing to sacrifice for a goal for 18 fucking minutes. So they don't get the privilege of serving within the unit, and rightly so. The same will go for people trying to build a good physique. If you don't want to sacrifice for all of 12 to 16 weeks, then absolutely you don't deserve a six-pack. How dare you even think you deserve to be in the category of men that have a six-pack and 8 to 10% body fat if you won't even sacrifice 12 to 16 weeks of your small life on this earth? In fact, let me phrase that. That is a very, 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 very small portion of your overall existence on this earth. And if you wouldn't even suffer and sacrifice for that amount of time, how dare you even think that you will deserve that level of that six-pack? There are men out there that will suffer like that, no fucking problem, and they will crush you. And they will that dream life you initially thought of, recognition, respect, status, love, happiness, those men will take that from you, no fucking problem. And they will do it with a smile on their face, knowing they're taking it from you. The world is a cruel, cruel place. And to be honest, I quite like that it's like that. So men will take this from you. If you are not willing to suffer and sacrifice, which, by the way, no one can take the amount of sacrifice you are willing to put in away from you. I can't jump through this screen now and go, I'm going to stop you sacrificing 50%. No. I have no control over that. I can only control my own level of sacrifice to get shit done and to get goals achieved, to achieve these traits that we all want. But so do you. You can outcompete me as long as you're willing to suffer more, as long as you're willing to work harder to get to the goal, as long as you're willing to say no to things. You can have it too. You can take what's mine. You can fucking dominate the world. But if you don't suffer, I will fucking take what's yours, 100%, and so will a lot of other men. Life is competition. It's competition for these things. It's competition for recognition, for being recognised as being a very good guy at the thing that it is you do. My mentor in the army, a very, very well-respected man, a very, very good guy. Anyone that's been in the Apostles rugby team will know who he is, and he is an absolute legend. He is recognised by everybody. Do you know why? Because every time someone comes to his office, he will sacrifice his time and whatever it is he is doing to sit down and listen to my trivial bullshit. And he does it with pure interest and a smile on his face, obviously because he generally does care. But the point is, you've got me tipping up to his office with some shit question, and he will sacrifice his time, his projects, to listen to me. And he does that for absolutely everybody. So of course, he deserves recognition. He deserves love. He deserves respect. He absolutely has status. Do you think he's happy? I know he's happy because he's a happy guy. It goes across all domains of life. You have to sacrifice if you actually want to achieve something worthy. Are you really sacrificing right now? Like the goals you've set, that you've written down, are you really sacrificing towards it? Are you really suffering for those goals? Could you actually be doing more? Is there actually things you're thinking of that you're like, I could have done more? The rice is 100 grams of dry weight to be weighed out. I'm having 104. I've done that 3 times. And I know I've done it 3 times. That's not good enough. That's not sacrifice. Someone that sacrificed would make sure it was 99 every time on the button, and he would pick it back out the pan, back into the packet if it went over. Did you really push that session? Did you really get that extra rep out in the gym? Or did you think, second to last exercise, it's a high rep set anyway. What's the difference between 13 and 14? A big difference. A big difference. And that will be the difference. If you can sacrifice, you will achieve your goal. If you can't sacrifice, someone will take what is yours. So I hope this has opened your perspective. I never say this to be an asshole. I say this out of love for you to get to your goal. Everyone needs to hear this. I need to hear it. We all need to suffer and sacrifice to get to our goal. Or be okay with not having any of this. Be okay with this not being in your life. But what were we really put on this earth for? To be shallow mules? To have no relationships? To see no other ends of the world? To live lonely? To live sad? To be insignificant? To be disrespected? To not be known? Were we really put on this earth for that? I think you know the answer. Of course not. So do the things that are needed in order to achieve this and live a beautiful existence on this earth. Take control of life and go and get what is yours. I hope this was useful. If it was useful, subscribe. There'll be more videos coming out like this. Fitness is obviously massive. getting in shape is massive. But to be honest, the tactics are the tactics. Eat a certain amount of calories for a certain amount of time, you will get to a certain amount of body fat. Lift, get stronger, session after session after session after session, you will build tissue. Sleep, recover, 8 hours, drink, hydration, you will get to the physique you want. But it's not about that, because you will fuck it up. It's about transforming into the man that can hold that level of physique. That is what this is all about, and that is what the big grey area is within the market. I can do you videos of top 3 exercises to grow your back all fucking day long. I can tell you how to hit your lats within a pinpoint. I can do that, but that isn't what's going to actually get you your physique. It's talks like this which are actually going to help, and there'll be more to come. See you tomorrow.